Kazakhstan is one of the most multinational countries in the world. There live more than 130 ethnic groups and nationalities. Each ethnos has unique traditions, interesting holidays, fascinating stories and unusual recipes. Recipes of kindness and peace, recipes of respect for each other's roots and a foreign culture, recipes for friendship. Day after day, we keep learning about the culture and customs of numerous peoples inhabiting Kazakhstan. There are numerous and small ethnic groups represented in our country. There are those who were born here and they are not migrants in the first generation, but there are those who came to Kazakhstan land relatively recently, but for one reason or another decided to stay here. Today we will meet Americans living in Kazakhstan. We will explore their culture and customs and also an American view of us and mutual cultural integration. So in today's episode we are going to learn about Thanksgiving Day is one of the most popular and favorite holidays in America. The US Consul General in Kazakhstan, Mark Moody, will give us the traditional turkey recipe.
So today we're going to be roasting a turkey. We'll be making some mashed potatoes on the side. There'll be gravy to go along with those things.
Halloween or All Hallows Eve. How do we celebrate the most terrible and cheerful holiday in Almaty? Trick or treat. From ordinary students to actors, let's learn about the life of the only English-speaking theater, Celts. I just fell in love with this theater at first sight. It feels like home. Where can you materialize many ideas together with Americans? Smart Point, a new platform for creative people. And as always, we will meet new people and learn more reasons to fall in love with Kazakhstan. In Kazakhstan, you can meet representatives of so many ethnic groups, hear so many languages, and taste so many dishes of national cuisines that almost no country or territory could compete with us. But if we are looking for a twin place in this sense, then perhaps the first country to recall is America. No wonder many Kazakhstanis who live in the States constantly find similarities between these countries. And there is one interesting fact. Many of the Americans who live in Kazakhstan fall in love with local life, people and culture. But even living here, Americans certainly celebrate their national holidays and stick to their traditions. On the fourth Thursday of November, Americans celebrate one of the most popular holidays, Thanksgiving Day. The first documented information about the holiday dates back to 1621. Then in the city of Plymouth, the present state of Massachusetts, a great meal was organized due to a good harvest. The settlers invited the indigenous people of America for the evening. Since then, residents of the states are gathering at a big festive table. By the way, only traditional dishes are cooked on this day. And today, the US Consul General in Almaty, Mark Moody, invited us.
So today we're going to be roasting a turkey. We'll be making some mashed potatoes on the side. There'll be gravy to go along with those things. We'll have green bean casserole. We'll have cranberry sauce. There'll be some pumpkin pie. There'll be roast pumpkin. We're also going to have a bean salad made of black-eyed peas. We'll have some biscuits, and there's going to be all sorts of good stuff. So let's get started.
Turkey was not chosen by accident. First, at the first holiday, the colonists and Indians roasted and ate 4 turkeys shot in the nearest forest. Since then, the baked turkey and Thanksgiving have become synonymous, and the poultry farmers have been feeding the birds specially for this celebration. Secondly, they chose turkey for economic reasons. Slaughtering a cow meant causing a serious blow to the household. The chickens were kept as long as they carried the eggs. But a turkey is juicy, nourishing and affordable meat. Today, dishes from this bird are also cooked not only on Thanksgiving Day, but also on Christmas and Easter. By the way, there is one more custom in the White House. On the eve of the holiday, they celebrate pardon of the Thanksgiving turkey. In the distant 1865, the reporter of the White House wrote that the son of Abraham Lincoln, Ted, asked to release the turkey, which was planned to be cooked for dinner. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy also pardoned the bird, after which it was decided to celebrate the day of pardoning the Thanksgiving turkey.
Thanksgiving is an American holiday. It was an unofficial holiday for a long time. It didn't become an official holiday until President Abraham Lincoln made it one. It was originally a day in 1621 when the original pilgrims sat down for a meal to give thanks.
Thanksgiving has a number of traditions that Americans hallow and follow. All members of the family must necessarily go to church, and after the service gather together at the festive table. Traditionally, since 1927, in New York this day they organize a grand parade. Its main feature is full-size balloons. They are solemnly carried from the Central Park to the entrance to the department store, opposite the Herald Square. The parade is shown live on TV. On the threshold of the holiday, Americans are trying to do as many good things as possible, try to feed and please their neighbors, help those in need. There are special tables are set up on city streets where everyone can make their donations, including food. The newspapers publish ads of approximately this content. If you donate $1.90, you can give a hot dinner to a homeless or poor compatriot. By donating $19, you will help to feed 10 people, and so on. On the eve of the holiday, charitable organizations distribute gifts and organize meals for the lower strata of the population. On the day of the Thanksgiving, there are parades everywhere. Many dress up in the 17th century clothes and Indian costumes, have fun and say thank you to everyone they meet on their way. Well, the most pleasant thing for every American is probably the fact that next day after the holiday, the Black Friday arrives. Pre-Christmas sales begin in all stores and large shopping centers. And as you know, shopping is also akin to a tradition for Americans. By the way, Americans don't love only to eat deliciously. They also do not forget about sports. Annually at the beginning of November, more than 100,000 people take part in a sports competition, the New York Marathon. It was first held in 1970. The start is located on the Staten Island. Then the marathon runs through the Verrazano Bridge, which is completely closed to traffic during the competition. The finish is located opposite one of the most famous restaurants of the metropolis, Tavern on the Green. The marathon is watched by millions of people around the world. Along with the American Boston and Chicago marathons, it is in the world marathon majors. This is the brightest spectacle and unforgettable emotions for both runners and viewers. The New York Marathon was organized by Fred Liebau in 1970. Then 127 participants ran several laps in the Central Park. 55 of them got to finish, and the winner received an inexpensive watch. Since then, this event has become traditional. This year a record was set. More than 100,000 Americans took part in the marathon. This is 20% more than a year earlier. Americans are a cheerful people. Every holiday is a bright and an unforgettable sight. And of course, one of the most popular and most terrible is All Hallows Day. Many people consider it to be originally American, but this is far from being the case. How's that? Let's find out. Trick or treat. On the night of October the 31st to November the 1st in many countries around the world, people celebrate Halloween. Its roots go back to the pre-Christian times. Then the tribes of the Celts divided the year into two parts, winter and summer, and on October the 31st, they celebrated the final day of the outgoing year. This day also meant the end of the harvest and the transition to a new winter season. I wonder, what do our Kazakhstanis know about this day? It's an American holiday. It came from America. People wear various costumes and masks. Girls tell fortunes. They say that at night a world of spirits can be reached. Young people dress, say trick or treat and get sweets for it. Do you know that this is not an American holiday but a Celtic one? We didn't know about it. We thought that it came from America. It's been 4 years since we started to celebrate it. The celebration of the New Year was in the early hours of the 1st of November. At this time, according to the ancient Celtic belief, the boundaries between spaces disappeared. In order not to become victims of spirits and ghosts, the Celts put out fire in their houses and went out in the streets wearing animal skins. They also left food near the houses, and afterwards people gathered around the fires, sang songs and danced. The Celts believed that the sacred festive fire would protect their dwelling, and so they took it with them and put it inside the carved vegetables. It was believed that the presence of such an attribute in the house would bring good luck and prosperity. Probably it is worth noting that during Halloween, Americans don't usually set a large festive table. Often they only bake a pumpkin pie and roast a steak of varying degrees of roasting. They compensate a meager menu for an abundance of various cocktails of the most horrible kind. Initially, the festival was called All Hallows Eve, which means Mass of All Saints. Over time, the name was transformed to modern Halloween. The pagan feast is celebrated in the USA with the greatest scope. It even has its own capital, Los Angeles and New York. In France, the suburb of Paris, Disneyland is rightfully considered the heart of the holiday, where more than 30,000 people come every year. Our guests from America, Anastasia and Emily, also traditionally celebrate Halloween.
Why you are so beautiful tonight?
This is how I always dress. No, I'm kidding. Tomorrow is actually American holiday Halloween. It's every 31st of October.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we Americans really love to celebrate Halloween by dressing up in costumes and basically being silly and fun and creative.
Where is the Halloween more fun, in America or in Kazakhstan?
I think it's getting more fun here as the years go by. I think it's more and more popular every year here, but in the US, everybody celebrates it.
I love walking around the malls and the shops here and just seeing all the Halloween decorations. I never expected to see it when I came here.
It was not until fairly recently that people of CIS countries started to celebrate All Hallows Eve. Especially Halloween is loved by children and youth. For the first ones, this is an excellent opportunity to get more sweets, and for the second ones, to show creativity in creating costumes, as well as have fun at the Halloween party in clubs and discos. The US Consulate General constantly organizes such events, and for example, these shows, they take place every year. Next year we plan to hold a similar event for Thanksgiving. We see that this resonates with our people. It's all interesting. That's how people learn another people's culture at ease. It is very interesting. While for young people, Halloween is another way to have fun and hang out with their friends. Almost every restaurant at night on October the 31st arranges parties in the style of horror. Pumpkins, candles, ghosts and witches. Well, they are having all attributes of the holiday. Now we will go to a theater founded in Almaty by an American director. If we talk about American culture in Almaty, then the Celts Theater can be considered its epicenter. Today I invite you to the backstage, on stage, in short to the epicenter of the epicenter. This is the only English-language theater in our country. It was founded in 2001 by actress Jessica Lewis. She has been living in Kazakhstan for more than 11 years. The city of apples became the second home for her, and the Celts Theater became a place where people can really show their creativity. Jessica, together with the production director Laura Pacini, like to surprise their viewers. Today, I managed to watch the Journey to Home play.
It's an original piece that we're doing. We're putting together musical theater songs. We're kind of stringing different songs from different shows together, creating a storyline with them. And then in between the songs, we're going to have something called playback theater. Playback is improvisation, where you get the stories from the audience. So we're going to ask audience members for their personal stories, and then we're going to play them back to them. So we have no idea what's going to happen each night, and every night's going to be different and unique.
Jessica is engaged in this area for very many years. At home, she graduated from a theatrical high school. She managed to work in many projects, but the Celts Theater has become something special for her. There is a friendly atmosphere here. Everybody are here for each other. They are one big acting family.
Say it's also hard working with a large group of people because nobody's getting paid for this and they're not getting any credit for this. It's not a major, so it's something they do in their free time for fun as a hobby. So it's very hard to get 30, 40 schedules to line up and match. And several people are always late every time. So that's difficult, but I think, no, I love working with them, actually. I think they have got great talent. I think they're disciplined and dedicated. No, I love working with them.
By the way, in the Celts Theatre there are no professional actors but ordinary Amity students. Apparently people come to the theatre for new sensations. After all, you can try on any role, forget about your daily routine. And even in spite of difficult everyday life, having finished all their business, they hurry to this place and they devote the last 3-4 hours of free time to creativity and art. I just fell in love with this theater at first sight. It feels like home. And do you like American culture? I've always liked it. When I finished school, I wanted to go to America to study. And now we're preparing for Christmas together. During its existence, the actors of the Celts Theatre managed to set 36 quality performances. This year, they delighted their fans with a musical called Cinderella. Tickets are sold like hot pies. Ambitious artists have big plans for the future. By the way, they already have traveled all over Kazakhstan with tours. They visited the capitals of the near abroad. And who knows, maybe soon they will go to conquer Europe. No less creative youth of Amity gathers in a new space, Smart Point, which opened in late October. This is a kind of community center and a laboratory for cooperation on various projects. There is an innovative technology center where you can use modern equipment for free. Various masterclasses are held here. You can also listen to lectures of foreign businessmen and cultural figures who share the secrets of their success. In other words, it is a kind of center of American culture, opened at the behest of the Consulate General of the United States in Almaty. Photographer Tom Thiel arrived in Kazakhstan for the first time. Here for all comers, he had a workshop on the art of photography and of course managed to capture the beauty of our nature. He says he has never seen anything like this before.
In Turkmenistan, we went to a place called Yangakala Canyon, which is really hard to get to. I almost hesitate to publicize it because it is completely untouched, it appears. And it is an amazing natural wonder of canyons and spires, very much like another memory that I have that's really great is sunrise at the Registan in Samarkand, where I was able to get in there with a beautiful, beautiful sunrise.
Tom was asked whether he will come to Kazakhstan again. He responded, definitely yes. His trip through Central Asia convinced the master that he needs to return to Kazakhstan again. Our new friend Karen Peterson. For more than 25 years, she has been working in education area, combating stereotypes about the cognitive abilities of women who are allegedly inferior to men. In order to combat these prejudices and attract as many girls as possible to the scientific sphere, the Girls in STEM movement originated in the USA and Europe. At the initiative of the US Consulate General in Almaty, Karen conducted trainings for our youth.
Kazakhstan has some amazing young women and educators that I've met that want to make a difference and want to help girls learn more about technology. I've been very impressed with what I've seen in Kazakhstan, and I think there's a lot of hope for the future, especially some of these young women and entrepreneurs that I've met over the last few days who are...
Karen is sure that Kazakhstan is moving in the same direction with developed countries. and STEM education is one of the main aspects of the future of each state, and today it is necessary to work together to achieve this. Kazakhstan is a multinational country. Here foreigners study the Kazakh language, learn Kazakh traditions, prepare national dishes, and make new friends. See you soon when we are going to learn about new beautiful traditions and amazing cultures.